This is my first ever NHL slate that I am talking about on this channel. I've gone through it back and forth a lot in my head. I'm ditching the NBA game, coming to the NHL game. I don't like the NBA game because there's just too much news that comes out late that I can't always watch, and I feel like that hurts me. So, for one reason, I don't want to become a quote unquote slave to the late news in the NBA game. And I also really like the MLB game. Um, so, I think there are parallels between NHL and MLB DFS, which I really do enjoy. And so, yeah, here we are taking a look at projection models and how I think I'm going to play it. I'll show you what my lineup looks like after I go through some of the numbers. So here we are. So I'm highlighting the center position here first. And so here we have Nathan McKinnon at 21% ownership, Connor McDavid at 17% ownership, Leon Drastial at 16% and Austin Matthews at 17% owned. Now, where I think I'm going to get different is for me, I am less likely to pay up for skaters in these particular spots when they are going to be high owned. Um, Now, having a background in MLB DFS, I understand that relative variance between the NHL game and the MLB game. It's a wide range. So, like, if a power hitter isn't hitting home runs, then he's not going to hit value. So, if we go into the upper range here at 8,500, 8,400, 7,900, 8,200, if if these three players up top here um, don't score 2 to 3 goals, they are not going to hit value on their price tag here. And when you take a look at the ownership, all at or around 20%, most of the field is banking on their performance being a sure thing. Um, if they're highly owned and highly priced, I tend to bank on them doing poorly. Now, this is a strategy that can burn me a lot. This is a strategy that most of the time may not work right. But if the chalk fails and the pieces I have do well, then I have um, a relative edge against the field. So people are betting on McKinnon, McDavid, and Austin Matthews as like short bets, which at that price tag, I wouldn't say it is. Um, it's much easier to come down to a guy at like Ryan O'Reilly at 6,100 or Tavares at 6,300, Kevin Hayes at 5,100. Um, these are some of the plays I'm going to use to hedge against this high ownership here. Especially when, like, if you look at Ryan O'Reilly, his median projection is 2 points off, like Austin Matthews, or 2 points off Connor McDavid. So coming down to Ryan O'Reilly, you're not losing much median projection, um, and you're getting uh, a big difference in ownership projection. So Ryan O'Reilly Ryan O'Reilly is in my lineup at 6,100 for all the reasons I explained. Um, if we look at the wings here, and then I paired him with Perron at 6,400 at 8.67% owned. So he has a decent median projection, decent price. And then I paired him with Torrey Krug at 5,200. So what I'm getting with the St. Louis Blues here is I'm getting a cheap stack that projects fairly well and is low owned. That is how I want to attack these types of lineups. So you could see, if we take a look here, Kevin Hayes at 5,100 projected to get 10.68 points. When you look at the other people like in this price range, he's the best price per dollar player. So I plugged in Hayes. I didn't want to play Pedersen or Sidney Crosby. Again, I'll take the lower price tag, slightly less median projection here, and the extremely low leverage point. So then I stacked Kevin Hayes with Lindblom. Lindblom at 2,700. I don't think there's many paths to failure at this price. And then I included Provorov in this lineup at 4,900. So again, getting a cheap stack, hopefully unlocking some upside. I paid up for Pat Kane here. I wanted to pay up for somebody. I had a lot of extra salary, so I went with Patrick Kane at 7,100. He is one of the higher priced guys on this slate. I wanted to go against the majority of the field. So a majority of the field was going with the expensive center backs. So I just went with the most expensive wing. And then I paired Kane with Duncan Keith. Honestly, there wasn't a lot of thought into this lineup. Kane was one of the last players I put into my lineup, and Duncan Keith was the only person I could pair with him at 4,200. So I just plugged it in, so I didn't have to play Kane naked. I could have him in a stack. And then I played Carey Price to kind of hedge more against the Austin Matthews ownership. If Austin Matthews has a big game, then having Carey Price is obviously going to hurt. But if Meadows has a bad game and Price has a good game, I do think that is some positive leverage. So this is my first NFL slate. This is my first look. As always, I would love to know what you think in the comment section below. Am I looking at this right? Am I looking at this wrong? What do you think? If you like my video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like my video, give it a thumbs down and tell me how I could do better. And I'll see you on the next one.